It all started on what was supposed to be a calm Saturday morning. The sun was out, the birds were singing, and my kids had decided to decorate the sidewalk with bright, colorful chalk drawings. Flowers, superheroes, smiley faces, the kind of innocent fun that makes a neighborhood feel alive. But of course, in every neighborhood there's that one person. In ours, her name was Karen. Now, Karen hated anything that wasn't perfect. She was the self-proclaimed queen of our street, always walking around with a clipboard as if she was the president of the HOA even though she wasn't. And apparently that morning, the sight of my kids' chalk art was enough to set her off like a firecracker. She marched straight up to me, arms crossed, lips pursed, and barked, "This is vandalism. You need to clean this up immediately or I'll call the cops." I laughed at first, thinking she was joking. Sidewalk chalk vandalism, really? But the look on her face told me she was dead serious. She even pulled out her phone like it was a weapon. I calmly told her, "Karen, it's just chalk. It'll wash away with the rain. The kids are just having fun." But nope, that wasn't good enough. She dialed 911 right in front of me, loudly announcing, "Yes, officer, I'd like to report a crime. My neighbor's children are vandalizing public property with graffiti." Graffiti. She actually said graffiti. Now at this point my wife was fuming, my kids were confused, and the neighbors started peeking out their windows to watch the drama unfold. And Karen, she stood there with the smuggest smile you've ever seen, like she was about to win the battle of the century. A few minutes later, a police cruiser rolled down the street. The officer stepped out, adjusting his sunglasses, and walked right toward us. My heart was pounding, not because I was guilty, but because I knew this was about to get ridiculous. Karen jumped into action before the officer could even say a word. "Thank goodness you're here. Look at this, disgusting drawings all over the sidewalk. This man is letting his children vandalize our neighborhood. I demand you find him and make them clean it up immediately." She was practically pointing at the chalk flowers like they were evidence from a crime scene. The officer looked down at the drawings, then he looked at me, then he looked at Karen. His face was completely unreadable. I braced myself, but then he bent down, picked up a piece of chalk, and started drawing a smiley face right next to my kid's artwork. Karen's jaw dropped. "What are you doing?" she shouted. The officer stood up, dusted his hands, and said calmly, "Mom, this isn't vandalism, it's chalk, completely harmless." But Karen wasn't ready to give up. She puffed up her chest and snapped, "That's against HOA rules, you have to do something." And that's when the twist happened. The officer slowly pulled out his badge, leaned in just slightly, and said, "Mom, I live in this neighborhood, and I've seen your so-called complaints more times than I can count. Maybe it's time you stop harassing families and let kids be kids." The street went silent. My wife covered her mouth to stop from laughing. My kids giggled, not even realizing the drama they had caused. And Karen, her face turned redder than a tomato. She stuttered, "WLI, this isn't over," before storming off back to her house, slamming the door so hard it rattled the windows. The officer turned to me and chuckled. "You're fine, let the kids play. If she bothers you again, give me a call directly." Then he got back in his car, still smiling, and drove away. The best part, my kids proudly pointed at the smiley face the officer had drawn and shouted, "Even the police like our art." From that day forward, Karen never said another word about the sidewalk chalk. In fact, the neighborhood kids started drawing more often, and it became a little tradition on weekends. And every time I saw that officer driving home after his shift, we'd give each other a wave, a little reminder that sometimes justice isn't about courtrooms or fines, sometimes it's just about standing up to a bully. And that, my friends, is the story of how a simple piece of sidewalk chalk exposed a neighborhood Karen's true colors. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more HOA and Karen drama with wild twists, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.